As of this recording, I've got 60,000 subscribers on my channel, and I wish I could delete about half of them. That sounds crazy. In this episode, I'm going to talk about why I want to do that and how that'll actually help me grow my YouTube channel.
Nate, I know that the goal that everybody has with regards to YouTube is to grow a big following, bunch of subscribers, just so that you can just delete them all. That's what this whole thing is about, right?
Yeah, that's totally right.
No, why do you wish that you could delete your YouTube subscribers?
So, as you know, I produce a lot of different channels, and we really focus on growing our channels and adding a lot of subscribers. On my channel, I've run into a challenge that I don't know how to fix, at least fix in the short term. And that is that I made a lot of videos on why I hire people in the Philippines. That was my first video that took off and got millions of views. And so I made several more. I made videos on tons of similar topics about hiring great people in the Philippines. Well, not only do business owner Americans like that content, but even more people in the Philippines really like those videos that have no interest in business or entrepreneurship or video or YouTube or anything. And so I've got a big following, people that comment and just they love my videos, but they're not my target audience. So in recent months, I've just stopped making any videos talking about the Philippines, and I've tried to steer my content away. And it's difficult to get as many views and get as many traction on the content that is really the most beneficial for my business. So something else I just did within the last few weeks is I went in and all my most successful videos that weren't relevant to YouTube or entrepreneurship or making money online, I unlisted them. So I know you already knew that, and
yeah.
I showed you the stats and how like significant of a drop off it was. And when I told some of my team in the Philippines, they're like, you could kind of tell it's like, oh man, you're gonna drop in ad revenue. And
yeah,
like,
that's what I was just wondering is how much ad revenue do you think you'll lose?
So far, it's looking like my own channel's only averaged about $1,000 a month, and right now it might be around $500 or $600. The interesting thing is the views that I got from the Philippines, the ad revenue for the number of views was really small compared to United States, for example, and Australia and stuff. So if I get the same number of views in the Philippines versus USA, I make way more money in the USA percentage-wise. So by eliminating all that Philippines traffic, I'm actually making my overall channel more profitable. Like the number of views results in higher profit.
So have you found out a way? Like, are you able to remove subscribers from your channel somehow?
I don't think that there's a way of doing that. I know that the YouTube algorithm has a way that they'll automatically delete like fake subscribers, but that's not what we're talking about here. And in reality, do I want to delete those people? No, I want my videos on YouTube topics or whatnot to get lots of views. And so I think by removing all the others, I have started to see a little bit of an increase since the big drop. And my hope is over the next several months just to see this really turn around. So this is an experiment.
Yeah. So how are you going to then get more subscribers of the people that you're really looking for, of like your target audience?
Well, by really only making content that speaks to my target audience. Because what I was doing with these Filipino topics is looking at any video I could that would get a lot of views. It didn't matter who the audience was. Another video that I made after that was like the 5 biggest mistakes I made in hiring people in the Philippines, and that one took off and it was loved by people in the Philippines because they saw the stories and thought, oh, that guy took advantage of you. Oh, you're so nice. And
well, and they're looking at it too, like, oh, what's Nate, this American business owner? What's he looking for, right?
Yeah, and I to that note, I actually made videos like how to get hired as a video editor in the Philippines. I mean, I would even make videos specifically for them just because I wanted the views. Now I feel like pointing out something here just to make a distinction. Let's look at Noelle Randall's channel. So her core content is investing in Airbnb real estate. That's what she teaches. And one of the first videos that took off is how to get business credit with poor personal credit. So they are different topics. Is that a bad thing or is that a good thing? Well, in this case, it's a very, very good thing because it's the same audience. It's the same audience. When that business credit video took off, It's like the tide coming in, and it raises all boats in the harbor. So I thought that principle would apply. If I get a ton of views on my Philippines videos, then I'll get a ton of views on my YouTube topic videos. And I guess that didn't really apply because the people in the Philippines don't want to watch my YouTube videos. So they're different audiences.
So just call YouTube and tell them that there's a problem, and they'll be able to just point it out and just tell you how to fix it, right?
Well, how about I'll just have my assistant Devin do it.
Yeah, I'll get right on it. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, there's not, there's no clear, like you said, this is an experiment. It'll be interesting to see if you are able to, attract more of that target audience. And, we talk a lot about the 4-month mark of following your strategy. Is there going to be a reset, from the time you deleted those episodes? Now we're 4 months in to creating content where we're really going to see a pivot in this channel.
Well, I believe so, and it goes back to an example I've shared before with John Crestani. So John Crestani, he's an expert of affiliate marketing. That's a lot of what he teaches, and he's an expert of paid traffic. And he had built his channel to 65,000 subscribers with paid traffic, so it was an empty channel. There were no likes, no comments, so really no one was engaging with the content, no real relationships being built. And then there was no money being made, right? There was no ad revenue coming in from the channel. It's a pretty big channel to not have any ad revenue.
Yeah.
And it was not generating any leads for his affiliate programs or whatnot that he taught. So he had me produce his channel using this strategy. So I'm kind of making the comparison of, that paid audience was just the wrong audience, right? And I'm hoping that my channel, although different, I haven't used any paid traffic, I'm hoping that in a similar way of me being able to completely turn his channel around without having to delete those fake or whatever, those empty 65,000 subscribers, I'm hoping that by me making this pivot that my channel will be able to have the same awesome results like he did.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see, because if you look below 60,000 subscribers right now, so we're about at that same number. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see. So, maybe you'll want to subscribe right now to just see how this experiment goes. So on that note of pivoting, Nate, what's your plan for getting new subscribers moving forward?
Well, I'm making a lot of the how-to type content, like the lead strategy that I teach, to target the audience that I want to find my channel. And I've done it so many times on so many different channels that it's just a kind of a waiting game now. For those of you who aren't clear on what my strategy is, I'll link to a video right up there. It's called How to Get 1,000 Subscribers on YouTube in a Day. The reason that I want you to watch that episode is because I really break down my entire strategy, and that's what I'm implementing now, just to the right audience.